Newberg, Oregon. You've got world-class wineries, small-town charm, this cute little old drive-in movie theater serving big Grease vibes.
Stranded at the drive-in.
Open for business.
You've got a tiny flower shop that serves as a hub for one of the biggest political movements in town. We'll get to that. And of course, there's Newberg's chaotic school board.
And this has been the shadiest process ever. And
this week, the board took public comment for the first time since they suddenly fired their seemingly beloved and supporters say highly competent superintendent. It went about as well as expected.
Dave, you're just going to refuse to answer. Is that what's happening?
It's just not the right way to run a meeting. We're not doing that.
Sure. Okay.
Did you know that birds aren't real? It's a known fact that the government has replaced every living bird with robotic replicas and is using them to spy on us. And I believe the Newberg School District is likely in on it.
Yes, that really happened. It's been like this for months, ever since the board first voted to ban Pride and Black Lives Matter flags at school. Adults fighting in public, teenagers pleading for reason.
I'm sick of having to sit there and comfort and console so many of my younger queer individual students, Black students who are struggling right now.
There have been protests, lawsuits, threats, and accusations. And if any of you living in Newberg wanted to go back to your quiet lives, sipping wine and shopping for antiques, sorry. The search for a new superintendent to lead the school district is on. Will the school board put aside their differences to work together on that search?
No, I am.
It's out of order to ask that question.
It's absolutely not. I'm asking a question because there has been such a lack of transparency in this process.
We'll take that as a no. Vice Chair Brian Shannon is now being recalled. The election is in January.
And I wonder what it says when we try to take out one of those representatives because we don't like their point of view, we don't like how they voted on a particular issue. Are you not saying that that segment of the community doesn't deserve a voice? I mean, is that what you're saying? That the folks who agree with me are not worthy of representation? Or is it just that you don't have the majority anymore? And so you're going to use cynical games to try and get back the majority so you can push your views on everyone else.
And board chair Dave Brown's name may also be on that recall ballot. That brings us back to the flower shop.
We've used this as like a little hub.
Where the recall's chief petitioner, Zach Goff, and his team have collected thousands of signatures from people unhappy with, well, all of this.
He's collected, I think, over 700 signatures in the shop himself.
Recall petitions rarely make it to a ballot, but Goff says he knew he had to try once he saw what the school board was doing.
I was approached by a couple parents who were very, very concerned, and they know the advocacy that our farm has done in the area, and asked if we would in any way want to help with this effort. And immediately I was like, yes. I need to be part of this.
They collected 3,150 verified signatures to get a recall ballot for Brian Shannon. To put that in perspective, only 2,170 people actually voted to put Shannon on the school board in the first place back in 2019. And only 1,623 people voted for Brown that same year. Over the last few months, we've repeatedly asked Brian Shannon and Dave Brown for interviews. Brown has refused, always saying he's too busy. Shannon has never responded. But at the board meeting this week, he made himself clear.
I don't think we should have any recalls. It's costing our district money. But I want to thank the folks who have done it because it's going to give our community a chance to actually have their voice heard. And when we are retained, I don't want to hear this thing anymore that we don't represent the majority. I don't want to hear that, well, not enough people voted, or there was a spoiler candidate, or all the excuses that are constantly being put out. We will know the will of the community in a month, and we'll let the chips fall where they may, and so be it.
Out in Newberg, they still have support.
You know, they shouldn't be doing a political statement, especially if the school's paying for it. Same thing, if they want to have that up, why wouldn't they put a KKK sign up? Well, they can't do that.
And emotions are running high during board meetings.
and I'm sure you're planning on recalling me next. How about we stop the lawsuits and the recalls and start focusing on fixing all the dysfunction that is happening in our schools? The more lawsuits and recalls you do, the more you're costing our district money.
But recall organizers maintain board members created the problem in the first place.
Before all of this, there maybe were 1 or 2 symbols in all of the schools. You know, because of what they did, there are more now. You know, their attack on the LGBTQ and BIPOC communities created the counter, which created more symbols in schools, more BLM signs, more pride signs. Like, it wasn't actually an issue. They created the issue.